Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Saturday the 10th. What are you upset about? Today we're going to talk about a little bit about where we're at, a little history, little recent history. So B and I are in I don't know if this is technically Omaha, Nebraska. It might be, I don't know, some town outside of Omaha. It's where the new Loves they build at exit 440 on I-80. B and I are on our way to Cheyenne. We got a load we're gonna drop whenever I get over there at a Walmart, DC. So I'm gonna talk about Omaha and you know, Nebraska, capital's Lincoln. You know, what else do you need to know about Nebraska? Their football team is called the Cornhuskers. And yeah, that's about it. So before I talk about Omaha, like a little history of Omaha and some interesting stuff about Omaha, I wanted to talk about Iowa. Now, you may know that I did undergraduate work at Iowa. I like Iowa. Yeah, I think Iowa is a cool state. I don't know why. I just do. And University of Iowa is a cool school. And anyway, so University of Iowa is located in Iowa City, which was the original capital of the state of Iowa. The old capital is part of the campus at University of Iowa. And Iowa City is located in Johnson County, Iowa. And Johnson County, Iowa was just renamed. And the new name of Johnson County, Iowa is Johnson County, Iowa. And you say, well, what are you talking about? So the original namesake of Johnson County, Iowa is a guy that probably never went to Iowa, like the state of Iowa. And it's a guy, his name was Richard Mentor Johnson. And his claim to fame mostly is that he was the 9th vice president of the United States, and he was the vice president under Martin Van Buren, who was the 8th president. But the distinction he has is that he's the only vice president ever selected under the 12th Amendment by Congress. But he was a pretty unliked guy. He was a Kentuckian and a slaveholder. And this is at a time when holding slaves was pretty common amongst politicians from southernish states. But the problem with Johnson, and this is a problem with a lot of slaveholders, but you know, he had children with one of his slaves. But the distinction is that I guess his biggest problem was he acknowledged that he did it. So he had these mixed race kids that were by law slaves, right? And that was a political liability. And so the county council in Johnson County, Iowa said, you know, we're sick of, and by the way, he was so unlike that Van Buren ran for re-election without a running mate. Like the party would not renominate this guy Johnson. So the county government, county council in Johnson County said, hey, we're gonna rename the county, but they had somebody in mind that also happens to have the last name of Johnson. And her name is Lulu Merle Johnson. Now, interestingly, I think her grandparents, or maybe her parents even, because she was, yeah, her parents had been slaves, and she was born in Iowa, and in 1921 she became the first African-American woman to earn a PhD at the University of Iowa. Now, to understand what she had to overcome, here's this woman that's like really smart, right? But because she was black, she couldn't live on the campus at the University of Iowa, nor could she qualify for a teaching position at University of Iowa. And she ended up moving to the East Coast and taught as a professor at several HBCUs, historically black colleges or universities, and eventually became the dean of Cheney University, which is in Pennsylvania, which is a HBCU. And so, you know, they renamed the county after her. So when you think of Johnson County, Iowa, you're thinking about Lulu Merle Johnson, the first African-American woman to earn a PhD from the University of Iowa. So she's a Hawkeye. So anyway, that I just thought that was kind of cool, kind of interesting. Because honestly, I didn't know until this story came out on NPR. I didn't, and I saw it on NPR, like a blurb on my phone, but it was in, you know, covered in lots of media and stuff. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska is known for lots of stuff. Of course, they just finished up the College World Series, and the Mississippi State, I think they're called the Marlins or the Sailfish, Mississippi State, some kind of, I don't know, maybe Scorpions or something. Anyway, they won the national championship in baseball. They beat Vanderbilt, which everybody knows is that team is made up of Navy people because they're the Commodores. Oh wait, or maybe they're a group from the 70s. Maybe Lionel Richie played in the game. I have to check on that. I have to look at the lineup card. Anyway, so College World Series, they have Omaha also has an incredible zoo, the Henry Dorley Zoo. It's quite famous, and I am not joking about that in any way. It really is a cool, it really is a very, very great zoo. If you're ever in the area and are looking for something to do. The other thing that's interesting, I mean, everybody knows that Warren Buffett is, you know, the wealthiest resident of Omaha, but there's several big companies here. TD Ameritrade's here, Union Pacific is headquartered here, of course Berkshire Hathaway, but I was surprised to learn that Omaha has been like the place where so many interesting things have been like invented or made or whatever originally. And this is just a short list. The Reuben sandwich. Yeah, I don't know why, but I always thought the Reuben just must have come from like New York City or something. But no, it was started at a hotel here in Omaha. I don't know where the Rachel started. Not sure about that. Cake mix. Duncan Hines cake mix. And Duncan Hines was not like its own company. It was like a brand or a label of another like flour company or something. The ski lift. Now, I don't know about you, but when I think of ski slopes, I think of Omaha, Nebraska. No, actually I don't. But the ski lift was actually invented here, and guess by who? Well, of course, a huge railroad company. Why wouldn't they, right? Union Pacific made the first ski lift, and it was here in Omaha. Crazy. And then if I mention this guy's name, you'll probably guess what it is. Swanson TV dinners. TV dinners were invented here. So, I mean, there's all four of those things have played huge parts in my life. So, I'm just grateful for Omaha today. Okay, so that's a little bit about Omaha and Johnson County, Iowa. So what I wanted to talk about is why I'm happy that this truck netted, meaning it got put into our company's bank account, $1.31 for last week. The truck had $1,630.61 of revenue, but that was only 2 days of work. Okay, now you say, well, the truck had $1,600 and change in revenue. How come you only got $1.31 out of it? And the answer is simple, right? There's fixed costs for the truck plus other stuff like tire fund, you know, fuel, anything that, you know, all those costs add up, right? But the reason I'm happy about it, about getting $1.31, is it would have been really easy to be negative, because I went home on Wednesday. So the Wednesday, like a week ago Wednesday. Well, our pay week starts on Wednesday at basically noon Central Time. So I was already home when the pay week started, and I was home Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I went and picked a load up on Monday the 5th, but then I just parked and went back home. So I really didn't get out on the road, because I just literally went down the road, like, I don't know, 25 miles, hooked this trailer, went and parked at a truck stop that I feel comfortable parking at, and my wife came and got me. So I was home all of that time, and I didn't come out till Tuesday. So basically 36 hours before the pay week closed out. So that's why I'm happy with $1.31, because in 2 days of work, we were able to cover all of our costs for the entire week. So, you know, you may have heard other operators at Prime talking about how when they come off a home time, they're negative for a period of time. And it was great to take that many days in a row off and sleep in my own bed, or one night I slept in a hotel because I was over in New Jersey. But it was really cool to be able to cover that nut. And that's why I'm happy. That's why I'm happy. And so this week, you know, we're off to a pretty good start. As soon as I drop this load in Cheyenne, we'll already be like, I don't know, 3,400 in revenue to the truck, and that's as of early Sunday morning. So, you know, that gives me the rest of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, part of Wednesday to make some more money. So anyway, that's just a quick update. It's kind of how the revenue streams work, and how, you know, it's easy to get behind. And I actually think, I sometimes feel like, you know, people ask, well, you know, what percentage of lease operators actually finish their leases at Prime? And I think, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I certainly have thought it. I'm not sure if that's the right inquiry, but because you know, we took this truck over, right? So the lease on this truck is 100 weeks, okay? So not even 2 years. and we had a bunch of money already in the tire fund, a bunch of money already in the warranty fund, built into this truck when we took it over. So, you know, we feel pretty good about finishing the lease because we can see, you know, that we'll get back stuff that we didn't even really work for. We'll get back money that we really didn't even work for. So I think when people ask, okay, well, how many people finished their lease? The question should be, you know, were people like successful? Because I know people that have left leases to just buy a truck. And I don't know that that wasn't the case with the person that was in this. The person who was in it may know. But I know, you know, I know other people who've talked about it. Lyle at No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, he leased for a little while and then left that lease, walked away, right? Walked away from tire fund money, whatever was in that truck, to purchase, okay? So I don't, you know, so he certainly didn't complete his lease, but that doesn't mean it wasn't successful. It just means he kind of changed what he was doing. But it's not because the lease was bad or he wasn't making any revenue. He just wanted to get into an owned asset quicker. I think sometimes people may leave because, who knows, their mom gets sick and they need to be home and take care of their mom. I met a guy recently at Prime who was going through training, and he had, and I don't recall if he said it was his mom or his dad, so I don't want to say, but it was an ailing parent, and then they passed away. And so once they passed away and he was not needed, he didn't need to stay home and take care of them, then he came into trucking. But you could already be in trucking and have that situation come up, or some other situation. You know, maybe you know, you're divorced and your ex-spouse can't take care of the kids anymore, or has something changed. Something happened to them, they become unfit. A million things happen and you're like, I got to get out of the truck. I can't drive this truck right now. So be cautious about what people say about the leases. The other thing I really want to comment on quickly though is, you know, a lot of these companies advertise, you know, oh, 90% of line haul or 85% of line haul. And, you know, Prime is 72% of line haul. But, oh, and by the way, I'm still owed a bunch of detention pay for last week. So that 131 I was talking about will probably end up being more like $400 or $500. Anyway, back to the share. So Prime takes care of a lot of things that other people who are leasing or owner operators have to take care of themselves. Okay, so you know, when I look at my line haul and I look at what the percentage is, you know, I don't pay a dime for that trailer that's behind me. I don't buy the fuel for it. I mean, I do, but then I get reimbursed. If I blow a tire, it's not on me. If the reefer quits working, it's not on me. If I show up and there's the trailer's damaged or whatever, you know, it's Prime takes care of all of it. A lot of companies charge trailer rent. A lot of companies charge for a lot of stuff that's included with our lease. So anyway, I just share that with you. I hope everybody's doing well, and I'm just gonna smile about my $131, or actually my wife's gonna smile because she manages that. But the sun's out. Hopefully it'll quit raining and I can get on the road in probably around 1900 tonight and head over to Cheyenne, and I can make this drop by after midnight, so that'll be the start to Sunday. So take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.